not. It's just an ordinary crabby... Oh my goodness! Squidward!
Ah, you were at my side all along. My true mentor. My guiding moonlight. Huh? Oh, hi. I'm Karina McDaniels, and I'm reading my favorite book. What is it about? Don't worry about it. Besides, it was never meant to be held by mortal hands. One glimpse of this book will cause you to go mad and possibly eat people, and other, as of yet, undocumented side effects. Anyway, you aren't here to hear me ramble on about the infinite complexity and endless expansion of the cosmos. You're here because some fandom menace doofus said something stupid on the internet again. I just started on my long-form videos for the year, and I'm frustrated by my procrastination so far, so I got the perfect thing to solve my frustrations with myself. So this person was recommended to me a long time ago by Jack Monahan, the most loyal and brilliant servant a demon mommy can ask for. Fuck, I can't imagine what kind of hell your recommended feed looks like, man, but thanks for finding these dudes. They're special. Yeah, special is the right word. Jon Del Arroz. Arrows? I don't know. Is that French or something? No idea. Anyway, let's start with some first impressions. Oh, this is awkward. Please tell me that's not what I think it is. Because it kind of looks like an overt reference to the Crusades in your channel banner. I mean, it's just, you know, maybe this is just me, but I don't think it's a very good idea. You know, from a marketing standpoint, that doesn't seem like a good idea. Talk about getting off on the wrong foot. But let's soldier on and see what we got in store for us. Ooh, nice thumbnail there. That's definitely not clickbait whatsoever. Oh, look at this. Doubling down on the gay agenda. Oh, he's one of those people, is he? Man, this just gets better and better. All right, fuck it. I know exactly what I'm in for, so let's roll initiative and see what we get. Woke D&D. Because of course, everything you love has been under attack by the big bad woke mob, or at least that's what you're supposed to believe. Even if it's not true whatsoever, don't let reality get in the way of your crusade, buddy. Now, y'all don't know this, but I'm a big fan of D&D. I play it all the time with a group of my friends, and it's a blast. I don't think Gen Z has much familiarity with D&D, so I'll give you the cliff notes. D&D is a really old tabletop role-playing game. It's a game where you create your own character. Every character has a class: barbarian, rogue, paladin, wizard, druid, and so on and so forth. You can have a backstory, which determines your skills you have. You have a pool of points to put into your stats: constitution, strength, dexterity, charisma, wisdom, all that stuff. You could just do it based on what class you choose or whatever is thematic for your character. D&D is meant to be played with a dungeon master, DM for short. A DM is like a referee for a boxing match to determine what skill checks are required, how quests are structured in scenarios with NPCs, that kind of stuff. The game can be very intimidating if you decide to play it by the book and follow all of the rules. There are a lot of rules, and I mean a lot of rules. I shit you not. In the player handbook, there are 200 pages dedicated to all of the spells in the game. It's nuts. But D&D is also the kind of game that's so flexible, you can just throw most of the rules out the window and have yourself a homebrew game. That's in fact exactly what I did in my friend group. It's the kind of game that can be enjoyed by anyone and is the most rewarding when you are using your creativity. The most important skill you can have as a player and as a DM is the ability to improvise. You do whatever is the most fun. Hell, if high fantasy isn't your thing, there's Vampire the Masquerade, which is basically D&D but vampires, or maybe Cyberpunk, no, not that one, which is basically D&D but cyberpunk. Maybe even Warhammer 40k, which is D&D but Space Marines. The point of this crash course in D&D is to set up what the perceived problem is here. Fuck it, the title already gives it away anyway, so I'll just cut out the fat and I'll tell you. Our buddy Jon here is really salty about Wizards of the Coast, the creators of D&D if you don't know, taking out some problematic elements. I mean, I hate the word fucking problematic, but I have to use it here. And of course, he's citing who else? Bounding Into Comics. Because of course he is. Why not? You know, Bounding Into Comics should sue all of these guys who do nothing but read their articles. Isn't that stealing? Maybe not legally speaking, but in the spirit, I think it's stealing. But then again, I don't think anyone would be visiting Bounding Into Comics if it wasn't for these YouTubers reading their articles wholesale. But none of that matters. That's just petty niggles. What problematic elements, you're wondering? Well, get this. It consists of descriptions specific to the Beholder, an iconic monster of D&D if you don't know, specifically about it viewing itself as superior to other races. Okay. But they changed some of the lore regarding role-playing certain races, like orcs, half-orcs, and all that stuff. Yeah, what else did they do? Apart from some other minor stuff, that's it. I'm not kidding. So, when you're going to watch this clip, just keep in mind that these are the things that Jon is super salty about.
Wizards of the Coast now removing problematic lore from Dungeons & Dragons, whatever that means at this point. They've already removed any sort of gender differences. They've already removed a bunch of stuff with the alignments. They've already started making strange teen romance, lesbian, gay, whatever supplements for everybody to act like they're, I don't know, SJWs.
Sorry I had to stop the video so soon, but good lord, Jon. This is just another instance of anti-SJWs getting upset over things they don't have to engage with at all. I mean, I know D&D pretty well, and I don't have a clue what he's talking about, so that tells me that this isn't even close to being a thing worth complaining about. I guess you have to stretch out that watch time somehow, but anyway, continue.
But now they have to go a step further and remove every problematic thing. Of course, they're never going to run out of problematic things and new additions for new, quote, problematic things, because no matter what you do, it's never enough for SJWs, and something else is going to become, quote, problematic along the way, I guarantee you. But so far, of course, I read through the article here on Bounding Into Comics, and most of the lore that they're actually talking about is regarding orcs, because orcs are racist. That's been the talk of the last several years. SJWs have deemed that orcs are stand-ins for black people, and that orcs are representations of such. I don't know how a fantasy race equates to that, but in the SJW racist addled mind, orcs are black people. That's what they think. So they have to change orcs to be more representative of black people in their minds. Very bizarre. Think about that mentality, to think of black people as orcs to begin with. That is something that I've never thought about in my life, but unfortunately, this is how SJWs are, and so they have to go in and change everything. Naturally, there's also references to slavery in there, and they can't have that, because slavery is scary and bad and represents black people. Even though most slaves these days are not black people, slave trade is actually the worst it's ever been in history. We need to talk about it and address it, and of course we should have bad guys having slave camps. It makes sense that we would want that, but no, you can't even reference it because it might trigger somebody, and that is where we're at.
Hey pal, you just blowing from Stupid Town?
So many egregiously stupid statements in the course of 2 minutes, so let's start with the biggest one. You're correct, Jon. That is absurd that people compare orcs to black people. It's almost like that's a straw man or something crazy like that. I've heard this talking point before, and I'm 99% sure you just parroted it from the quartering. If you actually knew what you were talking about, you would know the popular fantasy races have a history of being inspired by negative racial stereotypes. I have a couple of resources that you guys could check out if you're interested, because it's a mouthful. What makes me laugh is the whole racism in the fantasy genre thing isn't a new conversation. This has been a thing for a long time. There's a whole TV tropes page dedicated to explaining this kind of trope. It's that ubiquitous. What makes me laugh even more is that most of his rambling has nothing to do with the actual article he's reading, talking about like dragons that should be allowed to burn things because of who they are, some stupid shit like that.
If you label them a monster, isn't that racist? Shouldn't you really just accept that the dragon is who they are and let them, breathe fire all over you in the name of diversity and inclusivity?
Look at this stupid position that I imagine people have. What's wrong, Jon? Did you run out of padding already? Maybe you wouldn't need so much padding if you were actually complaining about something that mattered. I don't know, that's just my opinion. I mean, really, that's what kills me about this rant. I'm just sitting here like, why should I give a shit? This game, which thrives on players using their imagination and creativity to create fun and interesting adventures, doesn't have overt references to slavery in it anymore? Or the creators have removed references to character stuff that they feel hasn't aged well? Oh no! Now I could never have fun again. Is this some kind of practical joke or something? I mean, let me put it like this. If these changes really bother you that much, what is stopping you from picking up a used copy of these books? The changes are documented as well. What's stopping you from using them in your campaign? They didn't just burn every previous copy of the book. They still exist. They're just not actively printing that one. They're not actively selling it anymore. What's the problem? Seriously, like, I have trouble even finding the issue here. Seriously, what is the issue? Wait. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I know exactly what the issue is. I already know exactly what the problem is. You think the rainbow-haired, neon armpit-haired, whatever the fuck cat ladies of the internet want to ban all of your toys and cut off your balls and throw them in a big trash fire, right? Did I hit the nail on the head with that one? I think I did. I mean, why else would you have fight the good fight in your banner, huh? This is the nightmare of every internet reactionary, and they do everything possible to play into that fear, even if it's completely unsubstantiated. Especially so in this video. Nowhere in the Bounty in the Comics to article do they prove this was pushed by an angry SJW diversity, everything has to be diversity mob, and neither does Jon. He starts out with the assumption that's what happened and worked backwards to justify it. That's not how logic or facts work, but I guess when you have to present a narrative to your audience, those are the first things that go out the window. Hey Jon, why don't you prove this wasn't genuine? Because it looks to me like this was something Wizards of the Coast wanted to do of their own volition. They also did the same stuff with Magic the Gathering. They removed cards that could have been seen as racist, like there was this one called Invoke Prejudice and it had KKK imagery in it. Yeah, that didn't age well. You know, it just frustrates me because I thought people like you were supposed to be the defenders of the creator's choice. Kind of seems like you will support them until they do something that doesn't align with your political compass. It has to be manipulation, huh? No company would ever feel this way on their own, right? Well, maybe they do feel that way. Why is that so hard to believe for you? People like Jon embody all of the negative stereotypes of anti-SJWs. Let's go down the list. Complaining about people who complain about every small thing while simultaneously bitching about every little change they don't agree with. Bitching nonstop about political bias while being even more biased than the people they complain about. Getting mad at companies for making decisions they don't agree with, completely oblivious to the irony. The unwarranted self-righteousness they display when deriding others who act just like them. Deriding things like safe spaces and groupthink while displaying those exact same behaviors in their own fart bubble communities. Ooh, that's my favorite one. And last one, calling everything they don't like an agenda while not realizing they're using the exact same logic as the people they're against. Again, irony is not a concept to these people. These guys aren't wrong about everything. I'm not against these people just to be against them. I get accused of that. And no, I truthfully am not. I really am not. I don't think they're wrong about everything. But there was a point in time. There's a point in time. I can't really tell you when, but there was just something happened where they just disappeared up their own ass. And as a result, nobody can take them seriously anymore. I sure can't. I'm Kerri-San McDaniels, and you're probably wondering where I've been the past month. Don't worry, I have it in the pinned comments below. You can read that. Trust me, it's been a fucking eventful month. I haven't just been sitting on my ass. Well, not entirely anyway, but yeah, no, I really haven't been just sitting on my ass. I could assure you of that. But I've been doing more work on my long form videos. They're quite a behemoth. So I have been working on content, and I'll try to upload some more stuff. I know I have history of just not doing that, especially after 1,000 subscribers. I should be doing more work, but I'm not. But I promise you, some real bangers are coming. So thank you for sticking around. I love you all. Thank you for still listening, and have a good day.